Do you struggle to make decisions? Or do you have analysis paralysis? In this video, I'm going to show you how to more effectively evaluate your decisions in 4 simple steps. My name is Tyler Klein, and I run a Catholic mental health practice called Archangel Catholic Counseling. And I want you to have the skills and the knowledge to have freedom in your mental health so you can pursue holiness. This technique takes any decision you have through 4 distinct quadrants, and it's going to feel a lot like a pro-con list. We have a pro-con list, a typical T-chart to one side, and then we have ours, which is the pros and cons of inaction and action. It's actually 4 steps. And while they seem similar, it makes something non-binary. It actually gives you reasons for both. Typically, you just say which one has more pros or more cons, that's my decision. This actually gives a layer of nuance to that that's maybe more respectful to the nuance in the decision you're trying to make and to the layers that you're trying to navigate. So it's a simple thing, but what it does is it allows you to be objective. It gives you objective facts to weigh and compare. So yes, you'll look at this and you'll say, this seems too simple. And it is. It's meant to be simple and give you a way to frame your decisions. The first box in our framework is the pros of delaying action. So when you have a decision, you need to say, what advantages do I get if I don't take action on this thing? As an example, if I need to have a tough conversation with somebody, and maybe the conversation's got to happen eventually, but I'm wondering if I should do it right now, I say, okay, what are the advantages to not doing it? Well, maybe it gives that person a little bit more time to prepare, or myself more time to prepare. Maybe it gives me time to talk to other people first and get their perspective. Maybe it gives me time to think through what I'm going to say, or time to reflect on if their perspective may have actually been right. There's advantages to not doing something. So in that case, I want to say, what are the advantages, the pros to delaying action? The next box is the cons of delaying action. What happens that's negative if you don't take action on this decision? So in this example, if I have a tough conversation to have with somebody, there may be problems if I delay it. Maybe the problem festers. Maybe it becomes a surprise to them down the road. If it's a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, it may be more jarring to them than if it's more relevant to whatever caused this conversation to have to happen. So now you have the 2 boxes filled out. What are the pros to delaying action? What are the cons to delaying action? And you can start to weigh that. Now, most pro-con charts are in 2, right? They're bilateral. It's not the word I'm looking for. But you're looking at just that, binary. They're binary. Okay, you should have enough information now, but we're going to take it a step further into step 3 and step 4. So step 3 in our framework is analyzing the pros of taking action. So what happens if I take action what is a good part of that? Well, maybe this difficult conversation I have to have with somebody, we've thought about the pros and cons of delaying it. Well, if I take action, it gets it off my chest. Or it allows it to be more recent to whatever situation caused this. So it makes it a little more relevant for them, a little less of a surprise. Or it just rips the Band-Aid off. There's no good time for this to happen, so taking action now just gets it done sooner. Or maybe they'll feel respected because I took action right away. Or maybe I'll respect myself more because I took action right away. So there's pros to delaying this difficult conversation. There are cons to delaying this conversation. And there's pros to taking action. So we've looked at it from 3 angles. Next, we're going to look at the last step of the framework. Now we're going to look at the cons of taking action. If I take action on some decision of mine, what are the ramifications that may be negative? So the con of taking action may be that I'm not ready to, that my own emotional palette's not going to be very even-keeled, and I may say something I don't want to. Or maybe we just don't have a good situation to bring it up. So if I have a difficult conversation, but we're at work in the hallway around the water cooler, it's not a good place to do it. So if I take action now, yes, there's pros to that. We looked at that, but it's just not a good place to do it privately or a place that they feel comfortable having this conversation. And there could be many, many cons to this, and you want to write them down. Take this framework and take a decision you have. Write these things down and see what are the pros of delaying, the cons of delaying action, the pros of taking action, the cons of taking action. To summarize all of this framework, 4 steps about what is the pros and the cons of taking action on something and the pros and cons of delaying action, allows us to be objective with the details, objective with the situation. It is so easy to put our emotions and subjectivity into play, and that may not actually be what we need. So this will allow us to analyze a situation from 4 directions, which can be very, very helpful. In this situation I described, it was about a difficult conversation I needed to have with somebody. It doesn't have to be that. It could be about, do I take this new job or quit my current job? Do I buy a house or do I rent? Do I go to school or do I go to the workforce? It could be a myriad of things. Do I just change this part of my routine or not? It could be big or be small. My recommendation for you is to get a journal out or just a piece of plain white paper and draw 4 quadrants. The pros of an action, the cons of an action, the pros of action, the cons of action. And write down what you can and look at that and say which one of these is most heavily weighed. It's not a binary system, it's 4 directions, which gives it a little more nuance. So take a piece of paper, take a situation in your life, write it out, and decide which one of these has the most weight, and then go that way. Sometimes choosing inaction is a decision. Just don't let it be analysis, paralysis, or procrastination. Be an intentional decision. I measured this, I weighed it out with what I could, and I've realized that not taking action right now is the best decision. Or it helps give you freedom to take action because it's objective for you. This video is meant to give you an idea of how to bring some clarity to your mental health. It's just a tip and a tool to know what's going on interiorly to make good decisions through this framework. It may not be enough though. You may have more going on in your life. It could be an anxiety, a depression, maybe even an addiction, or just confusion. And if that's the case, keep seeking support. Find a good Catholic counselor in your area and set up a call with them and see if some professional help may be beneficial for you. Up here, I'm going to place a video about how to know if you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and how that affects your ability to fight bad habits and addictions. Watch that. It's extremely helpful. And then over here, I'm going to put a video about how to handle anxiety. Understanding what that looks like and what you can do about that. 3 simple tips you could put into play to handle anxiety, which at times makes decision-making hard. Even if you do these 4 quadrants and you know what to do with your decision, sometimes anxiety or this acronym HALT, hunger, anger, lonely, tired, can get in the way of that. So watch those videos. Hopefully they're helpful. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what you think below in the video. Write down below any situation you've pulled through this matrix. Tell us what you looked at. Tell us what you decided to do based on this framework. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.